Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the world of Movie Melee. I am your host, Kaleb Koho, and tonight we are back with our Summer Series Singles Tournament once again, and this is an interesting one. In our tournament where it was picking your opponents and pick'ems, this is the first one where neither player got to pick, and neither were picked. These are the two guys that weren't able to make it, unfortunately, to the Draft Spectacular, and they, by result, ended up with each other in what is a rematch from last year. Cameron Holzmann, the commander, taking on Miracle Matthew Chen. It's going to be a good one with the last time we saw Matthew being in the Platinum Ticket Tournament, whereas Cam, it's been a little bit longer. Last time we saw him was in a number one contenders match with Robert Kastner for a shot at the title. But these two, I'm sure, is going to be a vicious one for this one. So Dylan, thoughts on this match? Joining me tonight.
Yes. Yeah, it should be a good one. I think the first, I can't remember exactly how the first time these two faced off went, but I know it was probably a very good match, and both competitors are obviously great competitors. Been around in the higher end of the rankings for quite a long time now, so I'm excited to see how this one goes, because, yeah, I believe I remember Matthew having some bad luck in his wheel spin last time they faced, so who knows? Maybe if a different wheel spin this time, it could go his way. I'll be excited. It'll be exciting to see who comes out on top. Yeah.
Absolutely. This just in. My fact checker says it was 2 years ago that these two played, and last time we saw Cameron, he beat Matt Cuellar. So wrong on all accounts. So we'll just get into this and let them play, I guess. We're starting with Matthew Chen. You had a great showing in the Platinum Ticket Tournament. You were the highest seeded player in it. It came down to a really close game there down the stretch. But now you get a shot to play in a tournament once again with a lot of I guess scarier names than the first one, we could probably admit. How are you feeling about being in this tournament? And do you have any thoughts on not being picked?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have to give. I feel like it's a sign of respect if like people are scared to face me, so no one picked me. But no, I'm happy to be here. This should be a really fun tournament. I'm excited to see like what other matches are, like who picked who. But also now that I'm playing Holzmann, I'm definitely hoping to get some revenge. We're obviously close friends. I didn't have to suffer through Pureflix this time, so it should be a good time.
Definitely. We'll bring in Mr. Pureflix man himself, Cameron Holzmann. You beat Matt to get in here, but then also scheduling came up. You weren't also able to make your pick. How are you feeling about not being able to make a pick and playing Matthew?
Yeah, I agree with Matthew wholeheartedly. Like, I think it is a compliment to have not been picked. It means that, like, at any given point of the people on the board, we were the people that, like, they were more worried about playing, that they were less confident about being able to face. So we ended up here by virtue of being, like, the two who people constantly were like, well, no, I'm not going to do that, and made it through all the rounds of possible drafting to do that. Yeah, Matthew and I have played before, and it was alluded to, I believe, if I remember correctly, I got my strength of Sony Pictures Animation, and Matthew got sports. So it really didn't go his way very much on the wheel. But no, this time, like Matthew and I are friends, and we both agreed, especially like in a realm where we played each other last time when it was two strengths, and both of us used like our primary strengths that we use against people against each other. We were like, well, let's give each other just like nice things, but that we haven't studied, and have like a reasonably friendly and cordial match, because nobody picked us.
And there's no sports on the wheel, so I can't get fucked by that.
Well,
like high school all over again, nobody picked us.
Boo to good sportsmanship, but yeah, all right, sure, it works. We'll go into round number one, which works like this. You're each going to get 8 questions from 8 different areas within the realm of general movie trivia. Should you get all 8 questions correct, you'll be issued a bonus question. You have 3 repeats for the entirety of the match and a challenge rule. Any questions as we get into round number 1?
Yeah, can we put sports on the wheel?
No. So your first question will come in the category of recent releases. Who directed Drive Away Dolls?
I mean, he could have put sports on the wheel 2 weeks ago, but it's a little late now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Dylan's like, hey,
yeah, but like I didn't want to pick it. I just wanted it to show up.
Oh, I see. Dylan, have you seen this one?
I haven't. Still need to.
I really think this is like a very Dylan coded movie, like one that you'll be like, yeah, fuck yeah.
All right.
I don't know if I agree with that at all.
I just can imagine Dylan being like, yeah, this is fun. Pens down, we'll go to Cam.
Ethan Cohen.
We'll go to Matthew.
Ethan Cohen.
The peanut gallery in the back says top tier director or top tier pick of this director. No, but Ethan Cohen's director. As we get to your next question from Mr. Matthew.
In the category of horror, a British pub called The Slaughtered Lamb appears in what 80s horror film?
If you opened a pub, what would you call it?
The Slaughtered Ham.
Mm.
With a picture
call
of
mine-
Ham from Toy Story with like X's over his eyes. Yeah.
You get sued. I would call mine the Rusty Spoon.
Nice.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're gonna go to Matthew,
An American Werewolf in London.
and we'll go to Matthew, or not Matthew, Cameron. Whoa,
I'd call mine The Slaughtered Cam, an American Werewolf in London.
American Werewolf in London is correct. 2-2 as we get to your third question, the category of the 1970s. The Sting takes place during what decade? That'd be a good name for a bar.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? It's Friday night. You're ready to go slam some Long Island iced teas or whatever it is. You're like, that's my choice. And you're like, I'm going to go to the Sting.
It does sound pretty cool. It sounds like a one that'd be like filled with Hell's Angels, though.
Oh, it does. It sounds like, yeah, 100%. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Kim.
I'll get my Andrew Barr in and say I was between two and wrote the 1920s.
And we'll go to Matthew.
Yeah, I said 30s.
1930s is correct. So Matthew will take the 1 point lead as we get to your fourth question.
In the category of sci-fi/fantasy, who plays Will's mother Rachel in the 2011 film In Time?
I like that you emphasized the slash.
Did I?
Yeah, you said sci-fi/fantasy.
Oh, yes.
Everyone uses like sci-fi fantasy. But you're like, no, slash. You want to pay
I
homage.
should have stuck with the bit and said question mark at the end of the question. Yeah.
That'd have been really funny.
Yeah.
5, 4,
Ooh, comma.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Matthew.
I said Amanda Seyfried.
We're gonna go to Cam.
Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde is correct. So we're all timed up 3-3, no perfect rounds as we get to your next question. In the category of, you wanted it, sports. In Escape to Victory, aka Victory, prisoners of war play what sport? They willed it into existence. See if they hit it.
Appreciate the writer not going with the obvious wording of the question of what sport does movie center around, you know?
True. I like it. No, but
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We will go to Cam.
I'm a filthy North American, so soccer.
And Matthew.
I said soccer, and I just it's a European football.
Soccer is correct, as is the parenthetical European football. As we get to your next question.
In the category of war, 7 Years in Tibet takes place during which war?
I was really hoping you'd say in what country.
That'd be a great Michael Campbell question. We'll start an international policy debate right here in the middle of the match.
I'm stupid. Is Tibet a country or a city?
That's the debate.
I think it's a country, but I don't know.
I think some people recognize it as a country and some don't. 5, 4,
Sounds about
3,
right.
2, 1. Pens down. We're gonna go to Matthew.
I said World War II.
And we're gonna go to Cam.
I also said World War II.
When in doubt, World War II is correct. 5-5.
Imagine if it was the 7 Years War.
True. Get to your penultimate question, the category of actors and actresses. Who has appeared in Identity Thief, Tammy, and The Happy Time Murders? I feel like that's a pretty solid oxymoron.
Yeah. Solid filmography, too. Damn.
A+.
3 bangers right there.
It's true. Just goated run.
Yes.
There's like the list of the best careers and runs. That's got to be top one, number one.
It's that Ron Howard's 5 movie run.
2, 1. Pens down the entirety of Al Pacino. We're gonna go to Cam.
Melissa McCarthy.
We're gonna go to Matthew.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy is correct. We're all tied up 6-6 going into the final question. In what category, Dylan?
In the category of family, what is the name of the city Oz lives at in The Wizard of Oz?
Both look like they're grimacing a little bit, just slightly.
Would you say you live at a city or live in a city?
I would say I live in a city. I don't think I'd live like at the border of the line of the city.
That was just me taking a jab at the writer. It's fine.
I would agree. I would agree with you. I thought that was a weird phrasing. Take that, question writer.
He's living at the city because the city doesn't like it. Doing it too.
Pens down. We're going to go to Matthew.
Emerald City.
And Kim.
Yeah, I believe Koho and I famously once got asked this, and someone got very upset. The Emerald City.
Somewhere Andrew Barr is throwing up his hands, but 7 is the score coming out as Emerald City is correct. All tied up at 7. As we get to round number 2, which works like this, it is the wheel round presented by wheeldecide.com. If you like the category you land on, you're going to get 5 questions worth 2 points apiece. If you don't like the question you land on, if you don't like the category you land on, you can spin again, but you're stuck with every land on the second time. However, you can default to multiple choice, devaluing the points down to being 1 in any given category, and stealing is happening. So your categories on the wheel tonight are Joan Cusack comedies, Audrey Hepburn scores and soundtracks, romantic comedies, animation, musicals, drama, and comedy. Since we are tied, we default to the higher ranked player, which is Cam. Would you like to go first or defer to Matthew?
I'll defer.
All right, then Matthew, this will be your first spin at the wheel. And you land on musicals. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
I should probably take this. This is one of the better categories. It's not a terrible wheel, so yeah.
All right, then we'll put the wheel away, and I'll go ahead and give you your questions in the category of musicals. Are you ready, Matthew?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, your first question. In what musical will you find a judge who keeps the daughter of the title character as his ward?
Can I get a repeat? I just want to make sure I heard that correctly.
Sure, that's your first repeat. In what musical will you find a judge who keeps the daughter of the title character as his ward?
Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
That is correct for 2 points. Your second question. What holiday is Dorothy celebrating at the start of The Wiz?
I'll go multiple.
Your multiple choice options are A, Christmas, B, Thanksgiving, C, Independence Day, or D, Kwanzaa.
I'll go Christmas.
That is incorrect. Can the chance for 1 point still? Your options are A, Christmas, B, Thanksgiving, C, Independence Day, or D, Kwanzaa.
All I remember about this movie is that I don't like it. D.
D, Kwanzaa is also incorrect. Looking for B, Thanksgiving. So we'll go to Matthew's third question in the category of musicals. Who directed An American in Paris?
Vincent Minnelli.
That is correct for 2 points. Your fourth question. In Brigadoon, the titular town shows up once every how many years?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are A, 25, B, 50, C, 75, or D, 100.
100.
That is correct for 1 point. Shout out Schmigadoon. And your final question in the category of musicals. Who stars as director Zach in A Chorus Line?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are A, Kevin Kline, B, Michael Douglas, C, Dustin Hoffman, or D, Richard Attenborough.
I'll go A.
A is incorrect. Can the chance for 1 point steal? Your options again are A, Kevin Kline, B, Michael Douglas, C, Dustin Hoffman, or D, Richard Attenborough.
Richard Attenborough.
That is also incorrect. Looking for B, Michael Douglas. So at the end,
All I knew was definitely not Hoffman.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened.
12. No steals. Cam stays at 7 as we'll bring back the Will for his spin.
Yes. There we go.
I honestly expected that to go much worse for me. So,
And you land on scores and soundtracks. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
this wheel is so just the most baseline categories and then the 2 strengths. So there is no harm in spinning away from this.
All right.
So I will spin again.
We'll stack with whatever you land on this one. And it is romantic comedies.
I believe in romance.
I don't. So Dylan, go ahead and give.
I say that I am not currently wearing my engagement ring.
All right. Your first question in the category of romantic comedies. What romantic comedy is about a former secretary who creates a new personality and writes a best-selling book about how love is not essential?
Ooh. This sounds familiar to me. Multiple choice.
Your options are A, Colette, B, A Room with a View, C, Jules and Jim, or D, Down with Love.
Down with Love.
That is correct for 1 point.
I was like, I've seen whatever movie this is.
Your next question. How does Henrietta nearly die in A New Leaf?
Ooh, that's a great question. Multiple choice.
Your options are A, choking, B, drowning, C, car accident, or D, falling from a significant height.
Oh, Igor's not on the right team, so I don't know. I'll go with what my brain said first. I'll say drowning.
That is correct for 1 point.
Yeah.
Your third question. Who appeared in the romantic... Sorry, let me try that again. Who appeared in the romantic comedies Pillow Talk, That Touch of Mink, and The Pajama Game?
Doris Day.
That is correct for 2 points.
I never finished The Pajama Game.
Your penultimate question. In The Wedding Planner, what kind of location do McConaughey and Lopez's characters go on a date? And we'll take a general answer.
Oh, you know, my favorite kind of location is the multiple choice one.
All right, then your options are A, diner, B, bar, C, park, or D, church.
They really only go on one date in the entirety of the movie, The Wedding Planner. Park.
That is correct for 1 point and the tie game. And your final question in this category. Who directed Last Days of Disco, Barcelona, and Metropolitan?
I always get this guy confused with a different person. Whit Stillman.
That is correct for 2 points and the sweep of the category.
I once in a match in a different league said Whit Stillman when I meant singing cowboy Slim Whitman.
So at the end of Cam spinning, it's just go up to 14 to 12 as we get into round number 3, which is the pick your poison round. And it works like this. each competitor drafted 4 categories to be put onto the big board, a total of 8 categories. They will now draft again 4 categories from that big board. Once a category has been selected, the opponent cannot take from that category. Once they each have 4 categories, they will choose what they'd like for a 1, 2, 3, and 4-point question. We go towards a mathematical elimination or a winner, or if we need to, sudden death. So we're going to go ahead and let them take these categories, which are horror, animation, directors, sci-fi, fantasy, classics, family, recent releases, and 2010s. And we'll be back with you in just a minute. All right, we're back. Our competitors have chosen their categories. Matthew, since you are behind, you'll get to go first. What category would you like for a 1-point value?
I'll take classics for 1.
All right, Dylan, you want to go ahead and give us a question in classics?
Sure thing. Your 1-point question in the category of classics. Who directed The Bridge on the River Kwai?
John Huston?
It's unfortunately incorrect. We were looking for David Lean.
That's right.
All right, what category would you like for your 2-point value?
I'll go sci-fi fantasy.
All right. So then your 2-point question in sci-fi/fantasy. Name both stars of 2016's Passengers.
Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence.
That is correct for 2 points and the tie.
All right, so we'll go over to Cam. What category would you like for your 1-point value?
I'm gonna shock everyone. Horror.
Crazy. Your 1-point question. Who stars as Chris McNeil in The Exorcist?
Oh, that's a very good question. Is that Ellen Burstyn?
That is Ellen Burstyn for 1 point. So that will go back to Matthew for his 3-point question. What point value would you like? Or what question would you like for your 3-point value?
I'll go recent releases.
Okay.
All right. Your 3-point question in recent releases.
Okay.
What is the name of the substance Jessica must consume to become the Freeman's new Reverend Mother in Dune Part 2?
Oh, substance.
Four, 3.
Repeat the question.
Second repeat.
The question again. What is the name of the substance Jessica must consume to become the Freeman's new Reverend Mother in Dune Part 2?
This is the only thing I remember from Doom Part 2. Lisa Nalgaib.
That is unfortunately incorrect. We were looking for the Water of Life.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it all comes down to this. Matthew's got to hit his 4-pointer in directors. If you answer this correctly, we'll be going to Cam for more questions. If you miss, Cameron will win and advance to the next round. So Dylan, go ahead and give us a question in directors.
Sure thing. Your 4-point question in the category of directors. Pocket Full of Miracles was the final film to be directed by what legendary filmmaker?
Frank Capra.
That is correct for 4 big points.
All right, score up to 18. We go back to Cam. What category would you like for your 2-point question?
I'll take family.
All right, your 2-point question in the category of family. Who plays Dr. Robotnik in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise?
Jim Carrey.
That is correct for 2 points. So here's the situation. If Cam hits his 3 or his 4, he will win the match. If he misses, Matthew will be moving on to the next round. So Cam, what would you like for your 3-point question?
It doesn't really matter. 2010s.
2010s. All right, your question for the 2010s. What 2010s film is about the war on drugs in 1980s Detroit and stars Richie Merritt and Matthew McConaughey?
Ooh. White Boy Rick.
And your winner, Cameron, the Commander Holzmann, White Boy Rick, is correct. Quite possibly the best film name of the 2010s. We'll start with our unfortunate second place finisher today, Matthew. One hell of a game all the way through. Musicals had those two kind of close guesses, right in the ballpark, but 7 for 8 in round one is great. It just kind of came down at the end to Damn Dune Part 2. How are you feeling about your game?
Yeah, I feel good about how I played. The 2 musicals questions that I missed, Holtzmann missed too, so it's hard to feel bad about missing those questions when Holtzmann, who is also great at musicals, didn't get it. So yeah, I'm happy. I feel like this is a much better game than the last one I played against Holtzmann. This time we both got general categories, and I feel like it ended up being pretty good.
True. I think it's definitely a testament to the improvement you've had over the last 2 years to go back and watch the first one and then watch this and have it come down to literally a single point with someone who's clearly played for a lot of belts. So you played fantastic. Unfortunately, this does end your run in the tournament. Is there anyone you are hoping to play when you come back in the fall?
So I have a few names actually. Robert Kastner, I know he called me out some time ago, and I think that would be a really fun match. Jacoby, I think he'd just be a fun guy to play against. And then I definitely want to get some revenge on Scott Harvey, who I lost to when I first joined. So.
Well, absolutely. It sounds like there's a hit list for Miracle Matchup Champions when we can make happen. So we'll see you in the fall, and we'll bring back Cameron, the Commander Holtzmann, the winner today, by the skin of your teeth in the rematch. Really, literally came down to you missing just one question in this as an almost perfect game to win against Matthew the second time. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, I ended last season on a low. Last season I ended getting TKO'd by Robert, had just a bad game. And this year I feel way better. Against Matt, I did 7 in round 1, got opponent's choice, and still managed to win pretty good there. This one, yeah, like we said before, Matthew and I played before, and the wheel was much nicer to me last time. And I know that in 2 years, as much as I've grown as a player, so has Matthew. Matthew is truly a top tier competitor. The stuff that he knows is very, very broad, knows a lot of stuff, without hesitation pulled that 4 in directors, didn't even think about it. And I was too busy trying to remember what the movie you just said the name of was in my brain. I was like, oh, I don't have to try to think about this for my own personal satisfaction. It's just over. Yeah, when Matthew spun musicals, I was like, oh God, because if you're picking probably 3 people for musicals questions in this league, Bar doesn't play here, but I feel like me, Bar, and Matthew are the 3 guys who are we love musicals. They're the greatest thing ever, and we're gonna use them. We're gonna just watch all of them as much as we can. And then yeah, you were hitting either ones I hadn't seen or ones I didn't like. And then yeah, rom-coms, it's a broad category. Worked my way through it. Yeah, I feel good. I feel very good. I feel, man. Did anybody ever see White Boy Rick?
I did, opening night.
I did.
But congratulations on your win. Obviously, it would be almost like dirty pool to ask you who you'd like to play because you don't necessarily know who's in here, and you don't. We're going to ask you that soon
I don't
enough.
know who's in the tournament. I know a very small handful of people who are in the tournament, and then that's about it. I can name 5 people who were playing in this entire thing.
Absolutely. Well, it's almost more fun that way. So you'll be asked that question and given the answer soon enough when we do the redraw in round 2. So thank you for playing, and we'll see you in the next round. Dylan, put a bow on it.
Yeah, great match, great back and forth from both competitors. Yeah, look, 7 points each in round one, number one. That's always great to see. I mean, yeah, great stuff there. Yeah, you said Holzmann only scored like not including steals. He only missed one question, which is really, really impressive. Yeah, maybe some a bit of rough luck out there, I think, for Matthew in terms of what musicals came up. So that's unfortunate for him. But yeah, we all know what Matthew's capable of as a competitor. He still put up a great performance here today. Just unfortunately wasn't quite enough. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Holzmann does in the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely. A very dangerous person to see moving forward. So that has been it for us here at the Summer Series Tournament with Movie Melee. That has been Cameron. That has been Matthew. That has been Dylan. I have been Caleb, and this has been Movie Melee. We'll see you guys real soon with another great match.
Goodbye. Later.
After you, Junior. We'll always have Paris.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll wait?
You've been taken.
Bye-bye.